Hi, I'm Christina, and this is New Ways Podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, I'm extremely grateful to be here, and I hope this episode is informative and inspiring to you guys because this is something that is near and dear to my soul. The topic of not settling for less than you deserve, not settling for anything besides your ideal, you guys. I don't care what anybody says. Do not be put in the box that everybody else has made for themselves. You can have what you want. You deserve what you want. There is a reason why that idea is in your head, in your heart, and in your soul, and it's because it is meant for you. As long as you allow it to happen for you. A lot of times we love to get in our way, and we love to put limiting beliefs on ourselves and listen to everybody else. But that's not serving you, is it? What if I told you that you can have your ideal, that you are worthy of it? But once again, you have to allow it to happen to you and you have to stop blocking yourself. That is what we were going to get into today, my friends. And this is near and dear to my soul because I did this to myself for so long. I blocked myself from so many blessings and I stayed in the comfortable known for way too long. And the second that I just decided to step into who I am and demand what I want and what I am worthy of in this world is the second all the pieces kind of started falling into place a little bit more easier. So in this episode, we are going to talk about why people stay in situations or accept less than they deserve. We are going to talk about what it is actually costing you and how to stop sabotaging your own life and stop settling so you can gain the things that you want and you can live your ideal, happy, healthy life and have faith and know that everything is working for you and not against you. And one day you're going to sit back, look at your life and say, oh my gosh, thank God I did not settle. Thank God I did not stop. Because that's where I'm at so many times in my life. I have to pinch myself, you guys. Anyways, I digress. And the reason why I'm actually very passionate about this too is reflecting is I have so many friends in my life right now and in my past life we were all in the same situations and we all had big dreams. And to be honest with you, I'm the person who just decided to say, I can't do this anymore. I'm done settling. I'm done. And I decided to take action and allow things to happen to me as well as create things to happen to me. And now looking back a few years later, it's been 5 years since I completely uprooted my life, to be honest with you. They're still in the same circumstances. And it's weird talking to them because whenever we do get back together and we talk, I'm happy for them and I love them for whatever they're doing. But at the same time, it's weird. I do feel like there's a little bit of resentment because I'm over here and I do all these crazy things and I can genuinely say I am so much more happier than I was back then. And they're still talking about the same shit we were talking about 5 years ago, you guys. Do you want to be the person talking about the same shit, complaining about the same stuff from 5 years ago? No? Okay, good. Listen up. Sorry for my little rant. I'm on a roll today. Anyways, let's talk about why many people decide to accept or settle less than they deserve and not go after their ideal circumstance and lose faith. There's many reasons. One of the main reasons being comfort. I've heard recently that people are lazy and they don't want to do the work. Maybe that's the case. And let me try to flip your mindset a little bit, okay? Maybe you are comfortable. I'm so guilty of being in a job, being in a relationship where I'm like, it's not my ideal, but it's not that bad. It's not. It's also very familiar. We love to keep things consistent. Us as humans do love repetitive things. It's okay. It's not that bad. But maybe I want something different. All honesty, moving and choosing to do anything else seemed exhausting. It seemed hard. I had to figure out a bunch of other things, right? But do you want to know what's actually exhausting? Is doing the same thing that you don't like over and over again. Having the same fight with a friend, a family member, a romantic relationship over and over again. That is exhausting. Do you want to know what's also exhausting? Is going to a job every single day that you do not like. My previous job, the amount of physical pain I was in, and a mental pain, like exhausted 24/7. I don't even want to go out on the weekends just because you don't actually realize what it is costing you right now until you're out of it and you look back at the big picture and you're like, holy shit. Yeah, moving forward is draining. Figuring things out initially is draining. But what's draining is continuing the same situation over and over again and not getting any results. That is chaos, you guys. That is actually the definition. I'm pretty sure Albert Einstein said that or something like that. Insanity is doing something over and over again and expecting different results. You're not going to get different results, okay? Stop living in your imaginary land when it comes to that. You cannot fix this person. Your job is not miraculously one day going to get better. Yes, there are certain things you can do to your mind to see things more positive, but at the same time, no, you guys. You pick your heart and you pick your exhaustion. And it's funny because the initial exhaustion when you're starting to do something, yeah, it's there. But it's funny because when you actually start seeing the results, when you are actually in alignment with who you are and what you want, and you start making the steps to getting what you want and put that other stuff in the past, you gain more energy. I know that it's so hard because right now you're in the familiar, right now you're in the comfort, and it's hard to see the future because you haven't experienced it yet. But take it from somebody who's seen both sides and you can get out of it. Enough with my pep talk. Those are 2 reasons why people stay in their comfort zone. They stay in the familiar. They stay in situations that are not good for them. It's because it is familiar and it's comfortable. As well as we love to bargain with ourselves. One of the bargaining being is it's better than nothing. We will genuinely talk ourselves into thinking that, like, hey, me settling for less than I deserve is better than me not having anything at all. And for a brief moment, maybe. I do understand there are very, very extreme things. Like if you struggle for your meal, if you are not making that much money at all, yeah, I get it. Like you do what you have to do. I get there's extreme cases. But if you are somebody who's like, you're okay right now, just okay, why do you keep settling for less? Trust me, you are not actually gaining anything. You're losing a lot more than you realize. And we're going to get into that and what it is costing you, as well as another reason why people stay in situations that are not good for them is they will say it is temporary. They'll bargain. They'll say, hey, I might still like crush on this guy, keep him around, but I'm still going to keep my eye open. He's not the one, but at least he's like fun right now, right? This job, it's not my perfect job, but at least it's something. Once again, I get it's hard to say this if you were struggling for your meal. But if you're that person who you do have a little bit of wiggle room, you can just be like, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Like, we love to bargain with ourselves and say it's temporary. And this is where all these things start to cost you guys. When you say something is temporary and you start bargaining with yourself, most of the time, a few years down the road, you're probably going to look back and say, oh shit, this hasn't been temporary. First, it starts with a few months. Then it starts with a year. Then it starts to a few years. And you're looking back, watching this podcast saying, oh my gosh, how did I get here? Okay. When you settle for less than you deserve, when you either think it's better than nothing, so it's a gain and not a loss, or you think that you're bargaining, it's temporary. It's not temporary. And you are actually losing so much by accepting less. It's because when you accept less and when you say this is temporary, you put on these goggles. And these goggles oftentimes will blind you from all the blessings and the other opportunities coming your way. Because when you have something in your life, it is going to take up your energy. It is. And whenever you add anything to your life, it is going to consume some of your energy. Therefore, the energy that you could be actually putting to finding a new job, finding a new relationship, it's going to be focused on that person, regardless if you think of it or not. Your subconscious, we don't know what goes on in our brains all the time, right? But like you put these goggles on and you are going to be blind to all these blessings. You're going to be fixating on this one thing. Instead of looking for another job, you're going to be putting your energy into this current one that you don't like and that is less than what you deserve. Instead of looking for other relationships, or if a guy could literally walk past you on your street, your most ideal person, and you're just your little brain's gonna be like, maybe not. I got Bob back at home, right? Like, it will put blinders on. So as much as you want to bargain with yourself, saying it's temporary, saying it's a gain versus a loss, it's better than having nothing. You are wrong, you guys. Stop. It will put blinders on you. And you will not be able to actually see all the blessings coming in, where when you just put your energy on yourself and you believe and you're like, hey, I am worthy of these things. The universe and your brain wants to like verify those things. Your brain loves proving yourself right. It's going to start seeing opportunities for you out in the world and bringing it to you. So please do not stay in your comfort zone. Please do not settle. Please do not bargain with yourself. Say what you want. Put your order into the world, okay? If you have something that checks 75% of your boxes, right? It's taking up 75% of the space, and somebody walks by that's 100% of what you want. Guess what? You only have 25% left to you to give. You only have 25% left in your life. 100% cannot fit in that 25%, okay? Get rid of the 75%. Make yourself 100% available, and it will fit itself in as perfectly as it can. You'd be surprised. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's something that I heard recently. I was like, oh, okay. That definitely does make sense. As well as, you guys, I know this is like your subconscious mind, but when you settle for less than you deserve, you are verifying to yourself, your subconscious, that, hey, this is what I deserve. I've recently also heard a quote. I love my quotes. I love my stats. I love these things, that you accept the love that you think you deserve. So when you accept anything less, you are telling yourself that is what you deserve. You are going to diminish your self-worth and your value. You're going to be sitting with this person. You're going to be sitting at this job, and you're going to be like, you know what? Maybe my dreams were too big. Maybe this is what I deserve. You're going to decrease your self-value and your confidence. You are telling yourself by settling that you don't deserve what you want. You are telling yourself that you are not worthy of it. You are telling yourself that you are not smart enough. You are not pretty enough. You are not good enough to have what you want. Your body knows it. Your head knows it. Your heart knows it. Because if you genuinely believed that you were worthy, you wouldn't settle. So stop settling. Demand what you know that you deserve. And when you lower your self-worth and your value and diminish your confidence, you guys, you lose confidence in yourself. Confident people believe in themselves and believe that they can get what they want. And even if everything is pinned against them, they are going to find a way. That's what confident people do. But you accepting less, you diminish your confidence and your self-value. And do you want to know what happens when you do that? On an energetic level, you lower your frequency. I'm a person where I do believe in energy. I believe like energy attracts like energy. So for you to get these high vibrational things that you want, I'm assuming most people listening want a loving, caring, compassionate partner. I don't know what you value, but has the same values, has the everything that they want. I'm assuming that you want a job that you like and you're excited to get up to every single day. I'm assuming you want to live in an area that brings you inspiration and that you're happy in. And those are high vibe things. What you want is probably something very high vibrational. But if you lower your vibration, if you stay in the same area that is bringing you down, you're never going to attract that because you're not a match. You have to be a match for the things that you want. And when you diminish yourself and accepting less, that's what you're going to attract. These blinders are going to prevent you from seeing those high vibe things, the things that you want from coming. Your energy is not going to attract it. So please, I know that you're saying that you're going to feel like you're missing an opportunity. It's better than nothing. But it's not. You have to realize what you are actually costing yourself by this little temporary gain right now. It might seem like a little gain right now because you haven't had something in so long, but guess what? Looking into the future, you don't want to be the person that looks back and says, "Oh my gosh, I could have had that 100 and I settled for 75." Do you? There's probably going to be a time where you look back and you're like, "Oh shit, I didn't believe in myself." Do you want to be that person? As well as what we like to do is repeat cycles. So if you're doing this right now, if you're settling for less in one area of your life, you're going to become accustomed to doing things the same way. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you settle for this relationship, then next thing you know, you're settling for the job. Next thing you know, you're settling for an area you don't want to live in. It's a vicious cycle. We love repetitiveness as humans. What we do one way is how we do a lot of things. I don't know if you've read The Four Agreements. It's a great book, but one of the agreements is that Do everything to the best of your ability. And that includes building your life, you guys. Do it to the best of your ability. You do not want to look back and regret anything and realize, like, hey, I sold myself short and okay, whatever. I will feed into your limiting belief potentially that, like, maybe what you want isn't out there, right? I don't like that mindset. I don't do the lack mindset. I don't. My faith is strong, you guys. I don't know how I got here, to be honest with you. But let's feed into it, okay? From, I don't know how old you are, but let's say 10, 20 years down the line. At least if it didn't work out for you, fine. I always tell people most of the time you can go back anyways. If you can go back and settle at any moment. But what a lot of people can't do is say they tried. Do you want to be that person 10 years from now, 20 years from now, looking back and being like, I didn't even try. I didn't even give my dreams a chance. I didn't even give myself a chance. Do you want to be that person? That's a shitty feeling. I've felt it kind of before. Thankfully, I'm still young, but like, that's a feeling that I am scared of. I'm scared of wasting my potential, not like the initial fear of getting up and doing something and having faith. Okay. Once again, we're feeding into now your limiting belief is, what if things don't work out? Okay. 20 years from now, you're sitting back and things didn't work out. At least you can say you tried. I mean, that's a little bit of a better feeling, as I tried and it didn't work out versus I didn't even try at all. I don't know. I also do believe that when you have that mindset and you do try, you learn things and you're still going to be in a better position than if you didn't move at all, you didn't grow. Do you really want your life to be at a standstill just because you were scared? Just because you think that, like, this is good enough? I don't want to settle for good enough, you guys. I don't know. So now that we go into kind of what it is costing you, you guys, it's costing you so much. It's costing you confidence. It's costing you self-worth. It's costing you an abundant life. It is costing you your ideal life. It is costing you happiness and joy and experiences by you staying in your comfort zone, by you accepting less than you deserve. It is costing you your life, essentially. What are we doing here if we're not actually meant to live this life and take chances? It's costing you a lot. And now that I kind of went on my spiel, how do we stop settling? I guess this is where my pep talk comes in, you guys, is you need to know your worth. Maybe that's the first thing that you need to work on before taking these major steps of, like, uprooting your entire life. You guys, you genuinely need to believe in something for it to happen to you. You need to work on yourself. That's the most valuable thing I've ever done, is just working on myself. And you need to say, hey, I deserve this. And it is possible, because when you are at that frequency, then you aren't going to want to settle for less. Know your worth, you guys. You are worthy of having absolutely anything and everything in your life. Know your worth, because when you do know yourself, nobody can tell you otherwise, to be honest with you. I don't really care. You can walk up to me and tell me that I'm a POS piece of shit. You can tell me that I'm delusional. You can tell me this, this, and this. And if I know myself, I know I don't always have the best qualities, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, okay, I'll either say you're right, or I'll be like, okay, because I know myself and I don't really care what other people say. If you know yourself, everybody else can do what they want. You're cool. You're chilling. You have faith, and you're very much so less shakeable. And knowing your worth also means setting clear boundaries. You need to tell yourself, like, first you have to get very, very real on what you do want. Many people don't even know what they want in this world. I guarantee you I could walk up to somebody and say, tell me things that you don't want in your life. And they can tell me absolutely everything. Okay, what do you do want? Many people don't know, and that is okay, but I do think that you should sit down and at least get an idea. The more specific you can get, the better, because being specific also gives you, like, tunnel vision on how to move forward. Everything else, all the noise, you block out. When you're specific on what you want, you know how to move forward. You know what you are looking for. You take those goggles off and you put on binoculars to see where you need to go. Whatever you are giving your energy to, that is what you are going to attract. That is what you are going to see. So get very specific on what you want, and then set boundaries for everything you do not want in your life. I do get, once again, back to the beginning, like, you do have to do certain things. Maybe you do have to, like, get a temporary job to build up the money, or you do need to put up with a situation temporarily, but like, don't ever accept it. In your head, you need to have the boundary saying, like, this is my end date. And you have to have the confidence in yourself that this is my end date. Once I get this amount of money, that's it. Okay. And I've heard this so many times where it's like, you never know when enough is enough. You get this amount of money, it's not enough, I'm going to need more money. Or you're in this relationship, like, I'll still give it a chance. No, you need to set clear boundaries with yourself on what you will accept and what you will not accept. And anything that does not meet those boundaries, you need to run as far as you can from it, okay? Like, stop bargaining, stop trying to convince yourself. Like we said in the beginning, you need to set clear boundaries and you need to stay focused on yourself and move forward with intention. As long as I'm such a firm believer that when you do focus on yourself and truly what you want, then everything kind of just comes to you. Outside is so much noise, you guys. It's the limiting beliefs. It's the FOMO of missing out. It's the whole, like, I have an idea how things are supposed to go. Stop listening to what everybody else wants. Listen to what you want, because nobody else actually has to live your life. You have to live your life. So you need to focus on yourself. And my next thing, that is probably the most important thing, is have faith. And this is probably the hardest thing for so many people to do, because I don't know what's going on, but I feel like so many of us are so skeptical. Please just have faith. Have faith that things are working for you, you guys. This is Earth School. I'm genuinely believe that we are all here to learn and we are all here to grow, and that everything, as long as you stay true to who you are and you don't settle and you believe, if you believe, so many things are possible. I don't know about you. I do believe in a higher power. I do believe in energy. I do believe that as long as I am doing what is the good for all and the harm of none, everything's going to work out for me. But if you don't believe in anything, okay? If you don't believe in God, the universe, manifestation, whatever, do me a favor and can you believe in yourself? At least that's something that you can gauge. You can physically touch yourself. You know yourself. You're in your head. Can you just believe in yourself? That is something that's tangible. I'm not asking you to go ahead and flip your beliefs like I have. Believe in something bigger than yourself. Believe in like all this woo-woo stuff. But can you just believe in yourself? And that's my rant for this podcast is, you guys, I'm guilty of falling into the spiral of settling for less than you deserve. And it's not worth it. It's really not. I'm telling you right now that it might seem like it's a good idea, but in the grand scheme of things, looking back, it's not. It's costing you so freaking much. And the one thing that I want to prevent is people from not living their lives. I look around and I see so many people. I do see a lot of happy people, don't get me wrong. I don't want to generalize, but I also see a lot of people who are just comfortably numb. And they're not living. And that is my biggest fear, is that so many of us are missing out on life. And it breaks my heart. I want you to have everything that you want. I want you to have fun in the process. I want your life to be filled with love and joy. And I want you to show up for the people that need you as you and who you are. And when you don't settle for less, you create what you're here to create. And I guess that's my spiel. Let me know in the comments if this resonates, if it's helped you, if you have any opinions or ways that you help yourself not settle. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, I love you.